In this lesson, we will show you how the defineProperty trap works. By comparison, it is more complicated than other trap methods, so we will use a new program to show you how it works. First, we create a new proxy object. We new the proxy constructor. It has two arguments. The first one is the object we want to proxy. Here, we just need an empty object. The second one is the handler object. We define trap methods here. For now, we leave it empty. Now, proxy is a new and empty object. Let's add a new property into it. Then we console log the proxy object. We also console log the descriptor of all its properties. Now, message has been added into proxy. We also got the descriptor object of message. When we create a new property by directly adding it into the object, all three attributes will be set to true. Next, we add the defineProperty trap. It has three arguments. The first one is target, the second one the property name, and the third one the descriptor object. Just like the has and delete trap, we must return a Boolean value here. Here we return true. Let's run the program and see what happens. We can see this time proxy is empty. This is because the operation of adding the message property has been intercepted by the defineProperty trap. We only returned true in it, but haven't done anything else yet. Let's console log descriptor. We can see the value attribute is hello, which is what we assign to message. The other three attributes are all true. In order to add message into proxy, we need to add object.defineProperty or reflect.defineProperty into the trap. The first argument is target, the second one is prop, and the last one descriptor. Now let's try the program again. We can see this time message has been added into proxy and the three attributes are all true. Since we have intercepted the operation of adding message into proxy, we can also reset message's value and attributes. For example, we can reset message's value by assigning a new value to descriptor.value. The value we assign to message is hello, but what it actually gets is the new value we set in the trap method. We can also reset the other three attributes. We can see now the writable attribute is false. We have successfully reset its value. Next, we add the message property using another way, object.defineProperty. By default, the writable, enumerable, and configurable attribute are all set to false by the defineProperty method. If the configurable attribute is false, then we cannot make any changes to the value or attribute of this property. So here's a question. If we keep configurable to false, can we reset the message property's value and other attributes in the trap method? Let's find out. We can see we cannot do that. We got an error message. It says the property we are adding is incompatible with the existing one. To solve this problem, when we define the message property, we need to make sure its configurable attribute is true. We can see now the message value has been reset. We can also reset the writable and enumerable attribute. We can see these two attribute values have been reset. So here is another question. Can we reset the configurable attribute in the trap method? We can see we cannot do it. The conclusion is, if you want to modify a property using the defineProperty trap, you need to make sure the configurable attribute of that property is true at both sides. both sides means the defineProperty method and the defineProperty trap. Reflect.defineProperty will return us true if the property has been created successfully. So we can merge the two steps. We directly return the defineProperty method. We can see the result is the same. Message has been added into proxy. Another thing you should know is that return value will not decide whether the property will be added or not. For example, we return false. We will get an error message on the console table, and the program will be shut down because of it. But if you open the proxy object, you will find that the message property has been added into it anyway. Even if we do not return anything at all, we will get the same result. We will get an error message, and the program will be shut down because of it. But the message property has been added into proxy.